You notice the room tilt with an adult's mood. You learn to read voices, footsteps, the clink of a glass. A silent bargain forms. If I'm perfect, the house stays upright. Outsiders call it maturity. Inside, it's vigilance. That pattern has a name: parentification, when a child becomes the home's emotional thermostat. It works for a while, but it charges interest. A nervous system stuck on high alert. A self assembled from roles and love that starts to feel like a ledger. Praised outside, overclocked inside. Today we open the hidden vault. Why the model child grows exhausted, how the pattern shapes your relationships, your work, your self-care, and what in practice rewires the loop. Boundary sentences that don't burn bridges. Rituals of constancy that restore predictability, and exhale weighted breaths that put your axis back. Here's the turn. Strength without safety corrodes. Practiced safety heals. Calm will feel unsafe at first. One question to anchor you. When did you first become the adult in the room? And what invisible price did you pay? Micro challenge. Write one word for that role. Keeper, broker, peacemaker, and keep it visible. You'll need it. Next, we'll define parentification precisely, emotional versus instrumental, so you can see the cost and start unwinding the ledger, one clean boundary at a time. You kept the peace with straight A's, careful tone, and perfect timing. When adults frayed, you stepped in. Translator at the dinner table, therapist on the sofa, scheduler by the sink. Outsiders applauded your maturity. Inside, it felt like constant tension. This pattern has two faces. Instrumental parentification is taking on adult tasks. Cooking, budgeting, supervising siblings. Emotional parentification is heavier. Tracking a caregiver's moods, smoothing their fears, becoming the home's regulator. Neither responsibility is inherently harmful. The harm begins when they replace your right to be messy, dependent, and protected. The body adapts by bracing. Identity fuses with usefulness. Love starts to feel contingent, like something you earn by staying useful and quiet. A childhood organized around preventing explosions produces a grown-up who measures worth by preventing problems. Gold stars can hide grief. To begin loosening the role, try a brief inventory. Split a page into 2 columns: duties I did and needs I hid. Choose one small, neglected need. Rest, play, guidance, and meet it this week without earning it first. Then draft a boundary sentence you can keep. I'm available to listen for 10 minutes, and then I'll pause. Put both on your calendar today. Treat them as non-negotiable appointments with your younger self. When a child becomes the family thermostat, the nervous system learns to scan. Faces, footsteps, pauses in a doorway. Over time, the stress system, autonomic arousal, HPA axis, tunes itself to micro-threats and ambiguous silences. Research linking adverse childhood experiences and role reversal to heightened reactivity, sleep disruption, and anxiety is robust. That's why many adults from these homes describe rest as suspicious. With no problems to solve, the body anticipates impact. Muscles memorize bracing. Attention narrows to other people's weather. Intimacy becomes management. You might even chase mild chaos because your baseline expects it. Calm feels unsafe at first. Here's a 90-second reset you can use before and after charged moments. First, posture. Relax jaw and shoulders. Feel both feet. Widen your visual field. Second, breath. 5 rounds of 4 and 6 out exhalation. Lips slightly pursed on the out-breath. Third, orient. Name 5 stable objects in the room. Then name one value you're choosing, e.g., clarity. After the conversation, repeat the sequence and jot 2 numbers. Pulse estimate and tension, 0 to 10. Track changes for a week. Let data, not dread, teach your body what quiet can mean. Picture a private balance sheet you started keeping as a kid. In the left column, kept the peace, read the room, calmed the storm. In the right, moments you needed comfort and chose silence. That invisible accounting system can follow you into adulthood. You give to earn calm. You apologize to prevent distance. You manage others' feelings to secure a drip of warmth. It's not manipulation. It's survival math you never retired. The catch is obvious once named. If closeness depends on performance, rest feels like theft. Even joy gets audited. Partners who benefit from the ledger won't always complain. The system runs on your exhaustion. Healthy love has reciprocity, yes, but not conditions for existing at all. If love is debt, joy never settles. Try a 24-hour experiment. When a loved one shows discomfort, pause the urge to fix. Say one sentence that separates care from control. I'm here with you, and I trust you to feel this. Afterward, give yourself a small, unnecessary pleasure. 5 quiet minutes, a walk without a purpose, music in the kitchen, no earning required. Notice the guilt spike. Label it ledger training, not truth. As homework, write 2 replacements for old scripts. From I'll keep them calm to I'll keep myself clear. From I owe to I choose. This is how the balance sheet goes obsolete. A mask can be both a shelter and a prison. The role that saved you, peacemaker, fixer, golden child, organizes chaos into something bearable. Over time, that role begins to speak for you. Goals narrow to what maintains usefulness. Preferences dim because they complicate service. Even compliments hook into the role. Reliable, strong, so mature. Protection becomes possession. There's a deeper paradox. The role earns belonging to a group while quietly eroding belonging to yourself. You become legible to everyone, except the person you'll live with the longest. The cost isn't just fatigue, it's identity foreclosure. Choosing a life in advance to avoid abandonment. That choice once kept you safe. It now keeps you small. A role cannot love you back. For the next week, practice one non-instrumental desire daily. Something that doesn't improve anyone's mood or productivity. Read 3 pages of a book you enjoy. Wander without tracking steps. Doodle purely to waste time. Then schedule an anti-competence hour. Once this week, do something you're allowed to be average at. End the hour by writing one line that begins, "If no one needed me, I'd..." Let the sentence end messily. Keep it visible through the series. We'll return to it when we explore hyper-independence and the fear of asking for help in the next block. When did asking for help start to feel like danger? Maybe it was the night you handled bedtime, bills, and broken promises while the room pretended not to notice. Hyper-independence looks noble from outside. Inside, it's an allergy to relying on anyone. You mistake self-respect for self-reliance, overfunction at work, and call it standards. Intimacy becomes project management. You anticipate, prevent, and repair alone. Afterwards comes the vulnerability hangover. Was I too much? Did I burden them? The old rule hums under your ribs. Need nothing, lose nothing. But independence isn't maturity when it forbids interdependence. It's a relic from a house that ran on scarcity. Adult belonging is reciprocal by design. Refusing help repeats neglect. Work gently against the reflex. Pick one low-stakes arena, email draft, grocery run, quick edit, and ask for specific support with a clear endpoint. Could you look at this paragraph for 5 minutes? Track the bodily surge heart rate, jaw, shoulders before and after. Create a 2-step reliance ladder. Step 1, practical assist. Step 2, emotional witness. Can you sit with me while I decide? Practice step 1 daily for a week. Attempt step 2 once. When gratitude turns awkward, breathe, then say, "Thank you." That helped. That sentence keeps the door open for tomorrow's ask. A client calls her mother every day, no matter the hour. If she lets a call ring out, guilt floods. Ungrateful. Cold. In session, we script a new pattern. She returns calls within set windows, declines midnight crises, and offers shorter check-ins when she's at capacity. The result isn't distance, it's clarity. Boundaries don't punish. They prevent covert contracts, the unspoken trades where care buys control. When you've been the household regulator, no feels like treason. In truth, a humane boundary is the only way to relate without disappearing. A soft no is love. Draft a boundary you can keep with someone you care about. Use a 3-part frame. I notice, I need, here's what I'll do. Example. I notice late-night calls leave me wired. I need consistent sleep. I'll return calls between 6 and 8 p.m. Anticipate pushback. Write a warm repeat line. I care about you, and that plan still stands. Practice first in low-stakes settings. Coworker pings, minor favors, then scale to family. If guilt spikes, label it old loyalty, not truth, and breathe through 1 minute of discomfort. Next, we'll look at how these same boundary skills transform romantic patterns that quietly recreate your caretaking loop. Attachment research shows that early role reversal primes 2 common patterns in romance. Anxiously pursuing unstable partners to recreate the fixing loop, or avoidantly distancing as protection from being used again, source provided. Both are logical outcomes of childhood training. Attention is hard-won, so you work for it. Closeness feels costly, so you ration it. Intermittent reinforcement, big gestures after chaos, turns the nervous system into a gambler, chasing the next proof that you matter. You notice you're best at crisis, bored by calm, and uncomfortable when someone meets you in the middle. The script assigns you therapist, not equal. Meanwhile, needs surface only as tasks, meals cooked, schedules handled, solutions offered, because direct requests feel like temptations to be denied. The tragedy is simple. You keep auditioning for the role you already earned. Chemistry isn't safety. This week, slow the loop. On 1st or 5th dates alike, use a short safety screen. Do they keep small promises? Do they repair after a miss? Do I feel more myself, not more useful? When urgency spikes, texting back instantly, solving their crisis, set a 24-hour rule for rescues. Replace, how do I fix this with, what would equal effort look like? Note their response when you ask for something modest. If interest collapses when you stop over-functioning, that's data, not a verdict on your worth. Grab the word you wrote earlier for your childhood role. Keeper, broker, peacemaker. For the next 24 hours, place it where you'll see it often. Each time you feel the urge to manage a mood, pause and say a boundary sentence out loud. I'm here with you, and I trust you to handle your feelings. Then, log what happened. Did the world end, or did discomfort pass? Drop your word and 1 boundary line you tried in the comments. Your example will help someone else practice courage in real time. In the next segment, we'll look at how achievement and perfectionism can disguise the same loop, and how dialing effort down, not up, can rebuild safety from the inside out. Work looks like freedom because results finally match effort. You can anticipate, prevent, and fix without the messiness of human moods. Success feels like belonging. Burnout masquerades as proof that you matter. The paradox. The more control you wield at work, the less permission you grant yourself to be a person anywhere else. Perfectionism turns into self-soothing. If every detail aligns, nothing explodes. But control is not care. it's insulation. When praise becomes your main source of warmth, rest threatens identity. You can't nap if your worth is on a stopwatch. Eventually, the ledger moves from home to office, and you start earning the right to breathe. Exhaustion isn't evidence. Try the 85% rule for one task today. Decide in advance what good enough looks like. Clear, specific, measurable, then stop there. Use the saved time for something non-instrumental. 10 minutes of unstructured movement, a call with no agenda, sunlight on your face. At day's end, review. Did the outcome suffer, or did anxiety simply object to less control? Schedule one repeating boundary with yourself. End of day, end of email checks, end of edits. Let consistency, not intensity, be the new argument for your value. When someone asks how you feel, do you answer with a situation? Work is intense. They're being unfair. I'm just tired. Many parentified children grow into adults who can read others' weather but can't name their own. That gap has a label, alexithymia, difficulty identifying and describing feelings. It's not a flaw, it's training. In chaotic homes, precision about your inner world wasn't useful. Speed and compliance were. So the body broadcasts through extremes, flatness until a snap or a storm that arrives as if from nowhere. Anger often guards grief. Productivity often hides fear. Without names, care can't find you. Numbness is loud silence. Install a 3-word check-in 3 times a day. Body state, emotion, need. Start with the body. Heavy, jittery, compressed. Then give the emotion your best, most honest guess. Irritated, sad, scared, restless. Finally, state a need you can meet. Water, 5 minutes out, clarity before replies. Keep a tiny list of emotion synonyms on your phone to widen the palette. When you overshoot, meltdown, or retreat, practice a short repair sentence with someone you trust. I was overwhelmed. Here's what I'll do differently next time. Precision grows with repetition. So does the sense that your inner life deserves the mic. A client arrives with brilliant insight and a burnt-out body. They can map every pattern in exquisite detail, yet their week still runs on panic, people-pleasing, and crash. We slow down and discover 3 frequent detours. First, jumping to purely cognitive tools before establishing safety. Reframes don't regulate an alarmed nervous system. Second, granting instant forgiveness and full access in the same breath. Confusing compassion with contact. Third, practicing boundaries only in the imagination. Perfect scripts, 0 reps in live relationships. These missteps are understandable. They're the child's old strategy dressed in adult vocabulary. Appease, analyze, over-prepare. Clarity before compassion. Try an access ladder this month. Level 1, reflective understanding you may forgive privately. Level 2, boundary expressed and kept. Your time and energy are finite. Level 3, conditional access after consistent repair. Not just apologies, but changed behavior. Level 4, expanded closeness when safety proves durable. Keep levels visible. Decide in advance what each level permits. Calls, visits, money, favors. Each week, practice one live boundary in a low-stakes setting. Coworker ping, scheduling ask. Track the sequence: alarm, breath, boundary, repair, or distance. Therapy works best when the nervous system gets reps, not just ideas. Put one boundary rep on your calendar. Let your body learn what your mind already knows. Reparenting isn't a mood, it's structure. Children trust what arrives predictably: meals, bedtime, play, limits, repair. So adults heal by installing similarly reliable rhythms. Research on habit formation and emotion regulation converges on the same finding. Predictability lowers baseline arousal and frees attention for choice. Vague, self-soothing, "be kinder to myself," helps less than concrete rituals that make safety felt. Think of reparenting as 4 pillars: nourish, steady food and water; rest, consistent sleep-wake windows; play, unproductive joy; and limits, time, tech, people. Each pillar gives the nervous system a signal. Your needs matter and will be met again tomorrow. Over weeks, craving chaos becomes less magnetic because quiet has a shape you can touch. Consistency rewires trust. Design a tiny protocol you can keep for 14 days. Morning, water, light, and 1 minute of breath before screens. Midday, a 5-minute non-instrumental pause. Evening, a predictable lights-out window with a short closing sentence. Today is closed. I start small tomorrow. Add 1 weekly play slot, alone or with someone safe, that survives even when work expands. Track 2 numbers nightly: sleep window kept, yes or no, and body tension, 0 to 10. Let the graph, not guilt, motivate. When life disrupts the ritual, repair it, don't abandon it. Imagine telling your body, "You're safe," while every cue contradicts you. Rushed meals, non-stop alerts, relationships without edges. The body trusts patterns, not declarations. So stabilizers must be brief, repeatable, and social when possible. Start with orienting. Widen your gaze. Name 5 steady objects. Feel both feet. Lengthen the out-breath. Add vocal prosody, a slower, warmer tone when speaking to yourself or someone you trust. Humans co-regulate through sound. Include touch anchors, hand to sternum, 1 palm to the opposite forearm, a gentle squeeze on the exhale. Finally, build co-regulation rituals. 2 minutes of synced breathing with a friend or partner, or a short check-in where the only job is presence, not fixing. Done daily, these teach your physiology a new forecast. Safety is repeated, not declared. Create a personal stability loop you can complete in under 2 minutes, 3 times a day. Orient, 20 seconds. Breath, 40 seconds. Cue, tone or touch, 30 seconds. Choice, a single next step, 30 seconds. Pair it with existing behaviors, after coffee, before email, after work. When life spikes, don't search for perfect calm. Aim for 1 notch down. Name the notch out loud. From 8 to 7. Small reductions compound faster than heroic resets. Share 1 ritual with someone you trust. Let borrowed calm become learned calm. You want to help the people who shaped you, aging parents, struggling siblings, without reenacting the childhood contract that cost you. The paradox is sharp. To keep caring, you must refuse the version of care that unravels you. Many adults from parentified homes believe saying no is abandonment, while saying yes to everything is love. In reality, indiscriminate help breeds resentment, and resentment spoils care. Ethics here means holding 2 truths. They matter. You matter. Assistance must fit inside your actual capacity and their actual responsibility. Otherwise, your yes steals from other bonds, your health, and the future you hope to build. Care needs edges. Draft a care contract you can share and revisit quarterly. Column 1, what you offer: rides to appointments, weekly check-in, logistics help. Column 2, what you won't do: night calls, financial bailouts beyond X, mediation in conflicts you didn't cause. Column 3, conditions for continued access: respectful tone, scheduled times, shared responsibility. Practice delivering the contract with a warm repeat line: I care about you, and these limits help me keep showing up. Expect protest. Don't treat protest as proof you're wrong. Review the contract with an ally who supports your edges. Let sustainable care replace sacrificial care, so help can last. If a child, or your younger self, were in your house today, what would you change this week to protect their right to be a child? Intergenerational cycles shift when adults do two things repeatedly: model regulation and repair quickly after rupture. This doesn't demand perfection, it demands visibility. Narrate your own boundaries and feelings in simple language. I'm frustrated and need 5 minutes to breathe. Refuse to outsource emotional labor to kids. No triangulating, no little therapist, no confidant for hurt you. When you slip because you're human, repair. Name the behavior, state the impact, show the change. Also, build choice architecture that favors connection. Family meals without phones, predictable bedtimes, know that comes with alternatives. Kids don't need a perfect parent. They need a consistent one. Cycles end on calendar pages. Choose one ritual to install this week that preserves childhood. 15 minutes of undirected play, a feelings check-in at dinner, or a weekly repair circle where each person shares one miss and one plan. If you parent yourself only, keep the ritual anyway. You're rehearsing a future you. Write one repair sentence you'll actually use. I raised my voice. That was scary. I'm working on pausing. Put it on the fridge. Let repetition, not dramatic vows, carry the change. You adapted early to hold a house together. The mask worked. The cost accumulated. Hyper-vigilance, ledgered love, a life organized around usefulness. You're not broken. You're trained, and training can change. Safety grows from patterns you choose. One boundary kept, one ritual repeated, one act of care that doesn't require earning. Let work stop proving your worth. Let relationships run on reciprocity, not rescue. Give family care that has edges so it can last. Protect a child's right to be a child, especially the one you carry inside. Retire the job you never applied for. Keep the courage it gave you. Trade intensity for steadiness, performance for presence, control for honest connection. Choose one small act today that breaks the old contract, and do it again tomorrow. You keep you now.